start going. Just nice bit smooth. Thanks.
Thanks, Robin. It's only me today, so
Yeah.
keep it as brief as possible.
Good.
Some injury updates would be the traditional way to start, I guess, specifically Michael Beasley.
No, we have to wait on him. We don't know quite how long, but he won't be fit for this game or the next one, and then we'll see when our next game comes up after that. He's working at it, of course, like all of them are. Jez is back. Jez Raksak is back in training now, so the ones that remain out really are Michael Elise, Rob Holding, Czech Ducouré, of course, and Joel Ward. They're the ones who are still definitely out recovering with Michael. But Jez, although he hasn't done a session as yet with the other players, he is actually technically fit to join in with us. So I'm hoping on Thursday he'll be on the field with us.
Okay, so Arsenal.
Well, it would have meant maybe we've done a session with the players who don't play tomorrow night and a match day -1. So that would be a big ask to throw him into that game.
But Jez is like a new signing, isn't it, to have him?
Yeah, it'd be good to get him back. He was doing very well, we thought, when he got that unfortunate injury, and it's been another long one, like so many of our muscle injuries have been. You know, where you expect a strain to keep a player out for 2 to 3 weeks, ours have been all 2 months plus, and in fact, in Michael's case, 6 months. So we've been a bit unlucky. Where tendons get involved, it increases the length of time needed to repair the muscle, and as a result, the player comes off injured, and then we don't see him for several months.
You alluded to it there, the very small turnaround time between an FA Cup replay and playing, of all people, Arsenal. Will that affect your selection for tomorrow night?
Well, to some extent, but I mean, we don't have that type of contingent here really, which gives me the chance to replace the players which we regard as our current first team players with ones of an equal stature. You know, the ones we have on the bench are younger ones, or ones with a future, ones that are interesting more than anything else. So my options in that area are limited if I want to put out a very competitive team.
1 minute for Matthias Franke. I mean, I saw you walking up the street. You obviously couldn't train out here because of the
no, that's why we trained over at the academy today, where they have
I'm wondering how it's not the Copacabana, is it? How's he coping with the cold?
No, good. No, I mean, to be fair, I don't give those matters any thought. He's very much a member of our first team squad, a guy who's always trying to push for a place in the team. We know his ability. We appreciate his ability, and I'm sure that he'll get lots and lots of chances going forward. We'll see on Wednesday night whether we play him or not, but I'm not prepared to give the team away as yet. I'm afraid Sean will have to guess that.
Not been able to train out there and going over to the academy, is that something you do often? Is it a problem?
No, it's the first time we've done it. In pre-season we had a game over there, didn't we? But no, we tend to train here, but it's just today that unfortunately the pitches were such they were covered, but the groundsman was worried about taking the cover off just in case certain parts were okay, but maybe in 1 or 2 other parts maybe the frost would have filtered through, and then you'd have a dangerous surface. So we have the undersoil heating over at the academy, so it was a simple matter of walking across.
Would it have been nice, but for this replay, to have gone away somewhere? Were your plans changed as a result? No,
we were fortunate in that respect. I mean, it's a bit unlucky to now find ourselves with 2 games in short succession, but we had a lot of benefit from this year's winter break. It was after the match against Everton, was it, on the Thursday night? We were able to give the players 6 days free. They could then go and do whatever they really wanted to do. Quite a few of them went away to warmer climes, and we've been back since Friday. So we've done the necessary number of training sessions to prepare us for the game tomorrow, but we can't complain about the break we've had mid-season. We're very grateful for it.
Obviously Arsenal have been away in Dubai full 2 weeks after. They haven't been away for 2 weeks, but will that be significant, do you think, come the weekend?
Well, I think it's always a slight advantage if you get a full week's run-up to a game. They've actually had 2 weeks run up to the game, so they might argue it's even better still. But I think it's nice to get a full run up to the game. When you have to play midweek like we've got to do, it's not something that many coaches will say it's an advantage or we're happy to do that. Most would say I'd have rather had the full week. But it's part and parcel of football life, and it's ridiculous to try and start using it as some sort of excuse. We knew that if we didn't beat Everton in our home game, we would play a replay. So we didn't beat them, so we have ourselves to blame. If we don't like the replay, that's our own fault. We had the chance and we didn't take it.
But it is a competition that you want to do well in. You want to win the game, then a home tie. Is that an extra incentive?
I suppose it is, but I don't think we need that incentive. The incentive is we're playing a top team, Everton, in good form. I think they've done extremely well recently. I think they're a very difficult team to play against and beat. And you know, we're in the same league, and we want to show that, you know, we're capable of not only containing them or matching them, we want to beat them. And really and truly, that's our only focus at the moment. And let's get that game played, and let's get the performance from the team that we hope we'll get. And then we'll have 2 or 3 days before we play the next one.
Talking about Everton and also bringing in Forest, the uncertainty now surrounding whether or not they're going to get a points deduction, and if they do, whether they're going to appeal, and if they do, whether they win or lose, could go on to almost the last day of the season, if not beyond. Not knowing what points those two teams might be on, does that have an effect on the teams around them, do you think?
Well, it shouldn't, because I mean the fact is we should work on the basis that, you know, they haven't broken any rules, that there is no threat of sanctions, and they've got the number of points they've got, and we need to get more than those points. If you find yourself in a difficult situation and then points are deducted from those two teams which help you out, of course you'll be grateful for that. But I don't think it's something we take into account, and you know, it really is purely a matter for those two football clubs in the Premier League and the people who are looking into the matter and making decisions about what the right punishment is. That's something really purely for them, and I think we who are not absolutely involved in it, because it's not our club that's being looked into or judged in this way, we should mind our own business and get on with our game and keep trying to win our games, and you know, let them find a solution to whatever problems that they've created for themselves.
Not prejudging anything at all, but there's sometimes criticism or implied criticism of Steve Parish, for example, for not flashing the chequebook in transfer windows. The fact that, you know, Crystal Palace have never been caught out in this kind of situation, does that actually undermine how important it is to be sensible in transfer windows?
I think so, of course. I think the club has been very well managed in the 6 years, I suppose, that I've been, you know, closely involved with it. There's only been one real spell of spending when a new investor came in, and that money was spent extremely wisely. But I mean, since that, in the last transfer window, and yes, it was the last. Well, in fact, yes, it would be the last transfer. It would be the only one that I could refer to, I suppose. I thought the club was very sensible in what they did. They were very happy with the players they brought in. I don't think when we looked at it there was that many glaring gaps that the club thought they had to fill. So I am 100% behind, you know, what Steve Parish and Crystal Palace Football Club do, because I do think that it's very important that you abide by whatever rules are set up, and you make certain that your club is viable and stable, so that every year your fans hopefully will get the chance to come and watch the team in the division they want to watch the team in.
I guess sometimes though, in the heat of the moment, when you see a player that you want who is available that you know would help, that when the answer's no, it can be a bit frustrating.
I think all managers should take on jobs knowing full well what the capacity of the club is, and that they shouldn't make unrealistic demands on the club to sign players that the club feels they can't afford or could maybe put them into some sort of difficulty. You know, fans can in actual fact push clubs a little bit like that, and owners, I suppose, get affected by it. But you do need someone at the helm who is prepared to say, well, sure, we'd love to do all the things that people are wanting us or liking us to do, but we can't do it. You know, if you go back to, you know, the past, you know, there was an era where people, you know, didn't even use credit cards. You know, they only bought when they could afford. And I don't think it's a really bad thing to keep your spending to things you can afford.
Obviously, people get carried away in the transfer window. As you know, we get carried away in the transfer window. So having said all that, can I put a few names to you?
By all means.
Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah. A few clubs would be after him on loan.
I'm sure they are, yeah.
You could certainly help his career, couldn't you, with your experience?
I would like to think that if Calvin Phillips is available and is a possibility for the club, once again, you know, there will be financial restrictions. Who knows whether the club feels that they can afford that. But if you're talking about the level of player, I don't think there'll be many managers who would not say, yeah, we'd be really happy to have him come to the club. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a name that's out there. Of course, all we know, like most other clubs, is there's a possibility that Man City will either sell him or loan him. If they are purely going to sell him, then I wouldn't think we would be in the market. If they are going to loan him, I would like to think that possibly we could put our hand up and push ourselves forward. And what we could then, of course, offer is, you know, probably the chance of playing regular football in the Premiership in the build-up to what is going to be a very important summer for England and obviously for him. But we might not be the only club in that position. So at the end of the day, a lot will have to happen, I think, before we find out where Calvin Phillips is going to end up, if he's going to go anywhere.
Lovely frank answer, and I'm pushing my luck, so I'll just accept a one-word answer to the next two.
Good.
Eddie Nketiah.
Good player, yeah.
Daniel Munoz.
Who?
Daniel Munoz. Genk. Well, that gives me the
Oh
answer
yes,
to that.
yes. I've seen a video of him. Yeah, he's got two names, isn't he? Munoz is his middle one of them. Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, he looks like a good player
What's
too.
his other name?
Mayer or some name like that. Yeah. But I've only seen a video of him, but on the video he looked good.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Cheers.
Thank you. All right, that's the end.